Hello everyone and welcome to Box Office Receipts. I'm your host Tyler Callahan, and do we have some trouble at Marvel Studios? Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania came out this past weekend, and it ain't doing that great. Let's get into the domestic top 5. So it should be noted that the weekend box office numbers will be in a 4-day format to account for President's Day. It also should come as no surprise that Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania came in first place, opening with $120 million. In second place is Avatar: The Way of Water with $7.8 million, for a total of $658.8 million. Third place is Puss in Boots: The Last Wish with $7 million, for a total of $167.8 million. In fourth place is Magic Mike's Last Dance with $6.2 million, for a total now of $18.8 million. And in fifth place is Knock at the Cabin with $4.5 million, for a total of $31 million. So on paper, the $120 million opening should be great. It's the best opening for an Ant-Man film, and people get to see the next big villain, Kang, the Conqueror. However, this weekend turned into a mixed bag for Marvel Studios and for Disney. Yes, the film opened up great, money-wise, but reception-wise, we're looking at a train wreck. First, the reviews came out, and it's become rotten on Rotten Tomatoes, and as of now, the only worst film being Eternals. Then the cinema score came back from audiences, and it is a B, same as Eternals, and worse than Multiverse of Madness and Love and Thunder. With the poor reception, its legs will likely not be great and will finish between 200 and 250 million domestic. One positive news in all of this is that basically everyone loved Jonathan Majors as Kang, so they are set for the villain going forward, just that everything else was a mess. Mainly the script and the visual effects. I would not be surprised if there was other delays down the road for Marvel projects besides the Marvels, as it's needed. Even Kevin Feige said during interviews that Marvel Studios will be slowing down a bit. This would also help out Disney in regards to them needing to save over $5 billion. Personally, I don't think Marvel Studios is in trouble yet, but they do need to slow down, make some changes for their roadmap going forward. Let's go to China, where Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania opened in first place to $19 million. In second place is The Wandering Earth 2 with $12 million, for a total of $569.2 million. Third place was Full River Red with $9.3 million, for a total of $652.7 million. Fourth place was Boonie Bear's Guardian Code with $5.7 million, for a total now of $207.4 million. And the fifth place was Deep Blue Sea with $4.8 million, for a total of $122.7 million. Right now, the box office in China is starting to slow down, and Ant-Man did not do much to help. For reference, Ant-Man and the Wasp back in 2018 opened to $68.2 million. As for why the huge underperformance, well, it doesn't help. It is a weak Marvel film, and Marvel Studios is going to have to work on the issue that most people in China have not really seen anything from Phase 4, and they're now kicking off Phase 5. Legally, the only Phase 4 content they got was Wakanda Forever, and that was 2 weeks ago. So, how are they going to increase interest in the MCU again? I'm going to have to wait and see. Taking a look at worldwide numbers, Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania made $121.3 million internationally for a worldwide opening weekend of $241.3 million. Again, like its domestic opening, it's okay, but if word of mouth is weak internationally as well, we're looking at $600 million or less finish. Magic Mike's Last Dance made another $4.6 million, for a total of $37.7 million worldwide. Knock at the Cabin made $1.6 million, for a total now of $47.3 million worldwide. Puss in Boots: The Last Wish made $9.9 million, and now has a total of $421.6 million. The likes of this film have been really outstanding. Finally, Avatar: The Way of Water has just barely passed Titanic to become the third biggest movie ever worldwide, with a total now of $2.243 billion. We start off the news in Hollywood with scumbag Harvey Weinstein being sentenced to 16 years in prison for his LA case. This is on top of him already being sentenced in New York for 23 years for other charges of rape and sexual assault. Well, I have to say he is good. The less spoken about him, the better. There's an update to the Cineworld bankruptcy case. Over the past few weeks, we have talked about how they have allowed interested parties to place offers for the company, and now we have a small answer to that. Without naming any said parties, the company told bankruptcy court that they did receive offers for parts of the company as well as interest in buying them out completely. However, no offer reached the $6 billion of debt that needs to be paid off, nor did they receive any all-cash bids. The next steps for Cineworld is that they will keep reviewing offers until April 10th, where it will then have to be final offers from anyone interested. After that, if no deal is made, they will move forward with their restructure plan, with a vote for that set May 30th. In surprising news this week at Warner Bros. Discovery, they have closed the deal with Embracer Group to make new Lord of the Rings movies. In case you might be out of the loop on this, I believe it was last year Warner Bros. And New Line Cinema lost the rights to make more Lord of the Rings films, and Embracer bought those. Now, Embracer has made a new deal with Warner Bros. And New Line to make new films. No word on what they will be just yet, but I would assume they would switch it up from just doing a remake of the trilogy. Should also note this does not affect the Ring of Power show with Amazon, as those rights are being handled by Middle-earth Enterprises, who made their own deal. This is a big get for Warner Bros. Discovery, but they're going to have to tread carefully on how they make these films. It can't just be a remake, or it will look too blatant of a cash grab. But they also need time to develop, or we're going to end up in another Hobbit situation. Still, if they do it right, they have secured another franchise for the studio. Variety has the exclusive on this, and that is The Flash is set to be shown for the first time at CinemaCon in April. The event is for theater owners where studios pitch to them what they have coming up, and well, Warner Bros. Is confident enough in The Flash to show it off almost 2 months before release. Last year, Paramount made the same move by showing off Top Gun Maverick during their presentation. There's a new comedy in development at Paramount thanks to a report from The Hollywood Reporter. They are saying that Ryan Reynolds is working on a comedy called Boy Band. He co-wrote the script with Jesse Andrews and will star and produce the film. His frequent collaborator Sean Levi will also produce and might direct as well, but that's not confirmed yet. This comes as the second film in development at Maximum Effort Productions, and with Paramount, thanks to their first look deal the studio has. Since we have no idea what the movie will be about, hopefully it's good, and I'm glad studios are making more comedies again. One thing that has been lacking in theatrical releases are comedies. Deadline is exclusively reporting on a new casting for Thunderbolts, the Marvel film coming out next summer, and that is Steven Yeun is joining. While they did not say who he's playing, they just said that he is playing a significant role in the film, and based on rumors, after this came out, likely the villain. I'm happy he is getting more work as he is a great actor, and Minari was really good. For trailers, we got one, which is for Past Lives from A24. It premiered at Sundance and so far has gotten high praise. It's written and directed by Celia Song. No word on when it will be released, just sometime this year. Personally, I like the trailer and it's worth a watch. We start off VOD Premium with Amazon Studios as they have lined up My Spy 2, or as it's now called, My Spy The Eternal City. The first film was one Amazon bought from STX over the pandemic, starring Dave Bautista and Chloe Coleman. Well, it was a hit when it came out on Prime Video, so Amazon is moving ahead with the sequel. Besides Bautista and Coleman returning, Ken Jeong will also return, and Anna Faris and Craig Robinson have joined the cast. Peter Siegel will also return to direct, with production beginning this month. I've not seen the first one, so I don't know if it was actually good or not. But look, it was a hit for Amazon, so it makes a lot of sense to do a sequel. In an exclusive on Variety, we are getting a clear picture on how well Poker Face is doing for Peacock. They reported the Nielsen streaming numbers for the end of January, and Poker Face debuted in third place with 547 million minutes. It should be noted that this is for the top 10 streaming original chart, and the top 10 for everything. It did not make the top 10 list. Still, for Peacock, that is really, really good, and the highest that they have been on a Nielsen chart for streaming. In another exclusive report from Variety, BritBox now has 3 million subscribers. This is up from 2.6 million from last March. While not a big increase, it is only available in 8 countries and has shown consistent growth, which, considering how the streaming market has been over the last few months, is very important. Now let's get to Warner Bros. Discovery, where they have a lot going on this week. We start with their quarterly earnings report, where it wasn't good. First, what we care about the most, the subscription numbers, and it was basically flat, gaining only 1.1 million for a total of 96.1 million, worldwide between HBO, HBO Max, and Discovery Plus. Regarding the upcoming merged service between HBO Max and Discovery Plus, the company has set a date for April 12th to go over that in more detail. For the company, they have a net loss of $2.1 billion for the quarter, which is not good. However, during the earnings call, the company is saying that the worst is behind them, with last year was focused on reorganizing and figuring everything out, and 2023 will be the year of them building. They also mentioned that they'll be moving toward doing $4 billion in cost cuts by the end of 2024, up from $3 billion when they first merged last year. I will say, considering it was the holiday season, they should have gained more subscribers, but you could also say they didn't have a big show over the holidays and had people cancel after House of the Dragon. They should hopefully see a solid increase in the first quarter thanks to The Last of Us. As for updates to the service, Southside, a HBO Max show, has been canceled after 3 seasons. Now, it is an MTV-produced show for HBO Max, so depending on the rights, it is possible the show could get a 4th season somewhere. Maybe Paramount Plus. Another show ending, this one from HBO proper, is Succession. The creator of the show, Jesse Armstrong, has confirmed the upcoming 4th season will be the end. We knew it was going to end with either a 4th or 5th season. I do find it kind of weird that they're only saying this now, just over a month before it's released. It sucks. Succession is a great show, but I get it. They don't want to run it into the ground. If they can nail the ending, though, this will end up being one of the best shows of all time. One new show at HBO Max is the It prequel show called Welcome to Derry. Not much is known about it right now, but it will be set in the same universe as the recent It films. And we finish up with a lawsuit. That's right, Warner Bros. Discovery is suing Paramount over South Park. Why? Well, because of a lack of new content. So, for this we have to go back a few years. So back in 2019, pre-pandemic and everything, when the company was getting content lined up for HBO Max, Warner Bros. Signed a deal with South Park Digital Studios, which is a company run by the creators of the show in Viacom, now Paramount. The deal was to have the back catalog of the show, as well as streaming rights to the next 3 seasons. And they spent about $500 million for it. Okay, so far so good. Now, the issue is in 2021, MTV, which, as we all know, is a subsidiary of Paramount, announced a $900 million deal with the creators of the show. Those terms stated that they would make South Park up to season 30, okay, but they would also make 14 movies for Paramount Plus, with 2 set to come out in 2021. So what Warner Bros. Discovery is suing is that Paramount is getting around the HBO Max deal by having South Park work more on the Paramount Plus films than full seasons. See, during this time, South Park has been coming out with new episodes, but instead of a normal 10-episode season, it's been getting 2 episodes for one and 6 for another. The company claims they were supposed to be getting 30 new episodes over 3 seasons, and at this rate, they'll just be getting 14. As for Paramount's response, they are saying that this is not true, and also Warner Brothers is not paying their license fee, and they should get on that. So based on everything here, this should be an easy win for Warner Bros. Discovery if the contract they stated 3 seasons with 10 episodes each. If that is the thing they signed, easy win, open and shut case. If that was not in writing, this becomes messy. As for who I side with on this issue, I'm siding with Warner Brothers. Look, Paramount absolutely made their deal with MTV, spending almost double what Warner Brothers paid to get South Park to work on their stuff first. And look, hey, it's a smart business move, right? But their deal is the same issue they have with Yellowstone. A big IP that they have, but back in 2019, they were not fully focused on streaming, and they sold the rights away to a future competitor, right? You had the original Yellowstone show, sold the rights to NBC Universal, right? Peacock, and now they're all focused on spin-offs. South Park, same thing. 3 new upcoming seasons, HBO Max exclusive after being on Comedy Central. So what do? Well, how about you work on films instead? Now, the contract for HBO Max, I believe, actually ends in 2025. So at this point, Warner Brothers, I think, is just looking for compensation, right? Like, look, this wasn't a long-term contract, so it's like, look, I think if they just get paid a bit, they're willing to just shut up and walk away. But look, overall, Paramount made this deal trying to get content for Paramount Plus and to fix the mistake of previous deals. That's basically what this comes down to. And that is it for this episode of Box Office Receipts. Thank you for listening. See you next time.